Hey, this is Chris from ChrisCrossMedia. I was able to get my hands on Disney's Epic Mickey, the collector's edition, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what I thought of the game so far. So we're just going to jump right into it right now. So excited! That was my bad Mickey Mouse impersonation, but I can do a better one. Maybe I'll say that for another video. So the story of Epic Mickey is quite epic, to say the least. Mickey Mouse accidentally spilled paint and thinner in this world called the Wasteland. Wasteland is a world where all the forgotten ideas, characters, concept designs, anything that Walt Disney created that was not used in the movies or the theme park, this is where they all end up. Well, Mickey Mouse accidentally spilled paint and thinner all over the place. He gets sucked into this world many years later, and now he has to fix it. Some of the main characters in this game, well, of course you play as Mickey Mouse, and there's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Mickey Mouse's older jealous brother, and there's other characters. One of the main villains is the Phantom Blot, who pulls Mickey Mouse into this world. There is the Mad Doctor, who is the guy who builds all of these weird robotic characters, and they're called the Botlings, that attack Mickey Mouse. He's also working in cahoots with the Phantom Blot. And then there's a bunch of other rejected, forgotten characters like Pete, the Gremlins, Clarabelle, Cow, Horse Collar, a bunch of other characters. So as you can see here, the controls are very, very similar to Mario Galaxy if you've ever played any of those games. Jump with A, waggle the Wii remote, you do a spin attack which you can hit enemies with, you can daze them. You have your cursor, which is kind of like the Starbit cursor, like when you pick up Starbits in Mario Galaxy. But with this, of course, you use it to shoot paint and thinner. And one of the things that I really was impressed with this game is how you shoot the paint and thinner and how it actually works inside of the game. What's cool is that you shoot it, but it's not just a stream. It actually has physics and gravity to it. There's an actual curve when you throw it. It's like when you have a hose, it's not naturally going to go straight on. It's going to curve at a certain point because of gravity. Same thing here. You actually have to kind of use your judgment in how you position your Wiimote, where you shoot it, and what kind of target you're going to shoot. So I think it's one of the cooler aspects of this game. Just a little thing like that, it just makes it that much more real. Also, if you tap the B button, it shoots like a big spray as opposed to the hose. And same with the Z button. If you tap it really quick, it does a quick spread. So let's say I wanted to get a whole area, you can just tap it, and it does a big spread of it. Which is good when you have a lot of enemies or you have a lot of things you want to paint quickly. The graphics in this game is absolutely stunning. I think one of the best on the Wii. This is the Tomorrowland City, inspired by Disney World and Disneyland's Tomorrowland. There's a lot of Tron references in this land. You can see just with all the lights, elements, shading. Look at the ground. There's just so many things to look at. There's moving elements, things that it's a beautiful game. And this is one of the darker areas of the game. There's more lighter areas. There's this place called Mean Street, which is inspired by the Main Street area at Disney World and Disneyland. One of this game's big selling points was choice and consequence element in the game. A lot of games are doing this now. One that comes to mind is Star Wars The Force Unleashed. And although I love that game, all you do at the end is choose either if you want to kill Darth Vader or you want to let him live. And it's very, very straightforward. You do it, you don't, and then you get two different endings, and that's pretty much it. But in this game, it gradually changes the things that happen in the game by the decisions, even the littlest decisions that you make during your gameplay. One decision that you can make is to redeem Pete. That's Peg Leg Pete, Mickey Mouse's arch rival and nemesis in the cartoons. Do you want to help him out, or do you want to turn him in and get a prize? And if you help him out, then he helps you later on in the game, gives you a prize, or helps you during a boss battle. And your use of paint and thinner really determines how the end of the game will end up. And it's a huge, gradual, smart thinking process. It's not something that's so straight up in your face. You know, going from point A to point B, you could take so many different routes to get to point B, and point B will change in the end depending on what you did to get there. So it's absolutely amazing. For instance, these guys over here, these are called gremlins. If you save these guys in every level, I think there's a couple, 2 or 3 maybe. If you save these guys, they will help you later on in the game. And it could be a task that could take you 10-15 minutes to do, but because you took the time to save these guys, you won't have to do it and they'll do it for you. Well, one of my favorite parts, because I'm a big Disney freak, I'm like the biggest Disney nerd, is the attention to detail in this game. From the cartoon characters, to the cartoon shorts, to things about the theme parks. It makes me go crazy, seeing all the attention to detail in this game. So this is an underground area in Tomorrow City. This is an area, small room, but just the attention to detail, and I'm going to tell you what is in this room that makes the Disney fan inside of me want to scream of joy. You see these windows over here? These are actually circular window hubs inside the space tunnel when you're waiting in line for Space Mountain. They're little windows that when you look at them, it makes it look like you're in a spaceship tunnel and you can see outer space and the stars. And it's a 3D effect because of the dome glass. And the fact that they just put that in here, to me, I thought it was just the coolest thing. And there's a lot of little references like this to the parks and the movies in the game. If you listen closely, that chime right there is the chime that you hear when you go on the ride, the People Mover, or the other name is called the Transit Authority at Tomorrowland. There it is again. It's just little things like that that I think just make this game so unique and so special to me, and I'm sure a lot of other Disney fans and video games fans alike. If you've been to the parks, if you've seen the movies, you pick up on those little things, and there's so much of that in this game. There's so much references and so much research that was put into this game that makes it so special. If I had to compare this to other titles that are out there right now, it's really an homage to old 3D platformers from the N64 days. If you loved old N64 games, you're going to totally love this game. There's so many references to Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, DK64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, even the point-and-click games. Like one very popular point-and-click game is Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine, or any Telltale game. Just the collecting items, doing tasks, little things like that are seen all over this game. Even platformers, there's platforming sections in this game. Seriously, this game has so many different genres just put into it. The only thing that it doesn't have maybe is a first-person shooter. Just everything bundled into one. This is a projector that are used to travel between the different maps. These are the 2D platforming sections. Unfortunately, I can't go back because I already visited this area, but those levels are inspired by the old Mickey Mouse cartoons, even old Oswald cartoons, which can be quite challenging at times. I've actually died a couple of times doing them. Also, the currency in this game is e-tickets, and you can use those to buy items, pins, collectibles, health, everything. Anything to kind of help you through your journey. A lot of reviewers have been praising this game, but the only complaint that they have is the camera, and I kind of have to agree, but at the same time, it's not that big of an issue. It's just, like, the camera can be dodgy at times and kind of all over the place, but it's only when you get into really tight corners and in areas where I think you shouldn't really be. Again, I haven't had too many issues with the camera, but that's just one of the things I think could be improved on maybe in the sequel. The only other part that I kind of have a little complaint about is the cutscenes. I absolutely love the animated cutscenes. I love that it's text. It reminds me of a Zelda game. The only complaint is that the text moves by way too fast. The text moves by itself. It's not controlled by the A button or anything like that. It just moves freely, and you have to be a really quick reader, and I'm not a quick reader. So that's the only complaint I actually have about this, is that you have to be really fast at reading to get all the dialogue in the game and to understand really what's going on. But other than that, I mean, the game's a true pleasure. The goods definitely outweigh the bad in the game. Of course, there's not too many bads with this game, so definitely pick up a copy of Disney's Epic Mickey. I personally give it a 5 out of 5, even though I haven't played too much through the game. I'm only in the 3rd level, but I can tell that it's just going to keep getting better, and I'm so excited to keep playing and see what happens with the characters and what happens with the story. I would totally recommend Disney Epic Mickey to any Wii lover, any Disneyland lover, any Disney lover. This game really has everything for everyone. And some might think, oh, because it's a Mickey Mouse game, it's a kid's game. It's not. It's a very sophisticated game in design, in story, and in gameplay. So I'm Chris from ChrisCrossMedia, giving you a quick look at Disney's Epic Mickey, and you've just been crisscrossed.